Every year, I just know it. Someone's going to ask, what do you want for the holidays? And I secretly roll my eyes and tell them, oh, nothing. I have what I need in my little house. But then I get to thinking, some people just like to give gifts. They just do. It gives them pleasure. And then I realize it helps them out if I give them a little list. So I have a little list today. Nice gems, things that make me feel good, and maybe you will too. And the other piece of this, I like to give myself gifts. Truth be known, those are the best ones. So maybe you'll find something on here that'll give you a little zippity zap in your universe. I hope so. Let me get going. Now first, on my little wish list, because a gal can always wish, could you subscribe to this channel? That would really help us out. It lets YouTube know we all really like authentic comment that is specific to our demographic. Boomers and beyond, and not quite boomers. And that like, you know how much I'm going to appreciate that at the end of the day, right? Brecky will too. You know about him? He's my co-host. He might make an appearance, just saying. Onward to my little list. Number 1. Now, I don't happen to have any of this in stock because, to tell you the truth, I ate it all. So, nothing to show you here. It's a good bar of chocolate. And you know what kind I mean, right? It's the kind where you're tooling around in the grocery store and the chocolate just kind of jumps off the rack at you into your cart. Very convenient, that. And I don't mean the Hershey's and the Cadbury's kind. I mean something with a little nip to it. Maybe a little bit of extra flavor, some little crunchy candy canes sprinkled on top, some little nuts, dark, all kinds of possibilities. That would be first on my little list. And right now, immediately, I'm moving on to number 2 because the chocolate craving, it's setting in. Gotta watch for that. Number 2, I'm quite sure you need some tangerine in your life. Yeah? My favorite is this hand cream. Well, it's not my favorite tangerine, but one of my favorite actual items with tangerine in them. It's made by a company called Andalou. Oh, I know it's gonna read backwards. But no worries, I'm going to put the link in the description. And just so you know, some of the items on my little list, they're linked to my account that will give me an itty bitty bit of commission if you make a purchase. It won't affect your price at all, but for Tangerine Door, a few cents can make a difference. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. What I love about this, it actually works. So this nice, thick, creamy glop, it gets rid of the cracks on my hands. So nice when the colder weather sets in, especially when I have the heat on, which is kind of dry. Moving on to number 3. You've seen me acclaim this with wonder before. It's my new shower gel. So what do I like about this? The coconutty flavor. It is delightful. I had to change out my shower soap when I got laid up because I couldn't open the bottle of my cheap stuff with one hand, standing on one foot in the shower. So in desperation, I reached for this in the store. And you know what? It's been fabulous. The moment I opened this thing, and it exuded the most fantastic, heavenly coconut aroma. I mean, a really good coconut aroma, not the cheap coconutish that you might make in organic chemistry back in college. Not that, the good stuff. Moving on to number 4, an afternoon pleasantries, though I prefer it more in the evening, and that is tangerine tea. And if you're not so much into tangerine, how about peppermint? a little sachet of one or the other. Now, I will tell you from experience, the best ones are in individual packages. Why? Because stale tea tastes like grass. So I reckon this time of year, it's time to cuddle down with a super fresh, bitty bite of tangerine tea. My fifth favorite little gift item. Oh, this is making a cameo appearance from a previous list. Why? These make my day. See? Colored pens. I have all kinds of colors I never use, but I love to own them. I mean, I might just write a word or two in light pink. It would help if I could read it, but I can. Not really any longer. Never mind. I love owning the whole array. I got me like 12 of them, all in one package. And I keep them in this cute little basket. Perfect. Number 6. Of course, if you have an array of color pens, pencils, Crayolas, you're going to need something to write on. Me, I'm no kind of artist, but I do have friends who like those itty-bitty sketchbooks where you can draw a postcard and send it in the mail. I was always a color in the lines kind of gal, never really out of the lines, although as a senior I'm more in that direction. So coloring does me a little bit of joyful too. And there are plenty of coloring books for adults now. Item number 7. Of course, at this moment I have to punctuate with a little bit more tangerine. Of course. Tangerine lip balm. And it's the good stuff. It actually works. And who could argue with a little zippity-zap juicy magic right on your lips? Item number 8. And if you work this just right, you might just score yourself a freebie here. I'm thinking Amazon Prime, the state e-library, your local library, or the senior center. And that is those little quickie murder mysteries that really aren't about the whodunit. They're just about quirky characters and a minimal plot, a very unlikely minimal plot. And they're just confections of little books. My favorites are by Tonya Capps, but I tell you, if you look at this link, you'll find a vast list that viewers to this channel came up with in the comments. So check them out. I'm sure there's something readable for every single one of you there. Item number 9. Let's get domestic a moment. See what I have? A light bulb. Light bulb moment. Well, not exactly. I mean really a light bulb. Literally. If I want to cozy up this room, I just put in warmer light bulbs. Now, asking someone for a light bulb as a holiday gift, that is a little strange, but no matter. It's still on the list. Item number 10, still in the realm of the domestic. See these pillow covers? No, not the dog. The pillow cover? You can swap them out. Easy. Freshens up the room, and you can keep the old ones and swap them around seasonally, or just because. Number 11. And you all know this has to be on the list, yeah? Of course, I have to have splash color, but it doesn't need to be colorful. A plant. These, they always make me feel like I'm thriving. They brighten my day. And who's to say you can't have a crazy looking one? I mean, how about hot pink when you normally do boring red? Item number 12, a plushy new towel. Now here's the thing. Years ago I discovered I much rather use bath towels instead of those itty bitty hand towels that always feel dampish, soggy-ish, musty-ish. So I get myself a big one. And it's nice and cushy. And where did I get this one from? Target. It was less than $10. But yes, a bath towel for a hand towel. A nice plushy one. Item number 13. And since we're talking bathrooms, some of you might know exactly where I'm trending with this. It's my swim shoes. Aren't they cute? What do I use these for? I wear them into the shower. No more shower mat to trip on. These are the sturdiest, stickiest shoes for shower wear, tub, whatever you have. And isn't the pattern cute? I'm finding these days the things I get on a whim work out really well for myself. Item number 14. They keep telling us we need to be doing puzzles into eternity. They say it's good for our brains. We knew that already, yeah? I take this a little bit overboard, I must say. Instead of sleeping, I spend 2 hours a day doing puzzles. And what's my favorite source? Well, there's plenty of options out there. But my favorite source, if I'm looking for word puzzles or logic puzzles, I have a subscription to the New York Times crossword puzzles. And they aren't just crosswords, they're a bunch of different types of puzzles. But I can get totally absorbed. And you know, there's nothing quite like being told you're a genius, which has definite possibilities before you get much older. I really appreciate the New York Times for that. And that's all the ideas I have right this minute. I'm sure you have plenty of your own. Please write them in the comments. Sometimes it's nice to have a whole bunch of things to choose from. I know they'll be read and consulted. As for me, that's enough for now. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll talk soon, all right? See you then.